iAccess Radio, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Phoenix, soul, clarity and connection through conversation. Phoenix, soul, clarity and connection through conversation.
Wow, thank you. Hi, this is HURSTON, and you're listening to Phoenix Soul Podcast. And you're listening to me live in my home studio, but this is brought directly to you through iAccess Radio, the future of podcasts and radio. There is no limit to what we do. I hope I got that right, because it's all love for iAccess. Big shout out to Big Al in the building. You're listening to us. Hey, listen, if you want to give us a call today and talk to us or ask a question or say something you probably always wanted to say to me, but now that I'm live, you can say it. You can call us at 347-708-0216. And again, if you want to call us and ask us and talk to us and ask us a question, 347-708-0216. So everything's been great. Also, if you know somebody who would like to be a guest on our show, always let me know that. Always feel free. You can reach out to us on our Instagram page. You can give us a call. You can email us. You can do that, and we'll share that information before we close out the show. But always looking for guests to tell good news, to tell good stories, and so forth. As you know, every Monday is our show. We enjoy bringing incredible people to you to talk about the incredible things that they do. And this week is no different. I have an incredible guest, and I'm somewhat biased because this guest I've known, I'd say, for quite some time. But while I'm making an introduction, sorry, my phone is just, while I'm making an introduction to some, I guess I'm welcoming her to others. But let me just give you a little bit about who she is and about her background. Jackie Rowe Adams is a lifelong resident of Harlem, New York. She attended Wadley Junior High School, Benjamin Franklin High School, and she's an active member of the Manhattan Christian Reformed Church, where she began her passionate love for singing. She was a member of the All Citywide Chorus and regularly sang at church during her formative years. Jackie now sings not only for churches throughout the Harlem community, but also for weddings, funerals, parties, and political gatherings. She's appeared in the off-Broadway musical Mama I Want to Sing and has sung the national anthem at Shea Stadium in the opening of the Special Senior Olympics in Syracuse. I say all that. I say this part of her life because I don't think a lot of people know that. They know this part. She's a very active community member, public servant, community activist, served on several boards, Community Board 10, Board 12. She's served as president of the District 5 School Board. She's been president of Local 299, vice president of District Council 37. And She's also served as the chair of the New York Health and Hospitals Sydenham Community Advisory Board. And, um, I think some of the things that we know about Jackie is her how she's turned her life around. She lost two of her sons. She's had four. She has four sons, and she lost two to gun violence. And she was able to take that grief and turn it into prayers and love, and started the Harlem, and was a co-founder of Harlem Mothers Save, Stop Another Violent End. But I think I like the most important one, where she is now um, living her dreams in her other part of her life, and now she's the chair. She's a board member of HHC, Health and Hospitals Corporation. So I'm going to bring her on because I want to continue this. But ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, fam, I bring you Jackie Rowe Adams.
Oh, I'm so excited. I just had the best experience just
What
watching
experience?
it come on. I
I
mean,
know, right? It was a
that
lot.
was a real movie.
I know, I know.
I mean, it was excellent. I was in space. We had the groove. I was in space. I started saying, I said, well, she better go ahead, Miss Shaz. This was really fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Well,
Thank you for having me. I'm very proud of you just having your podcast and having me on. See, what people don't understand is business and friendship. Okay. And what you got to understand, when somebody have something to talk about, how is an asset in the communities, is doing something, you take and put that friendship aside and say to people probably saying, oh, just because I have a friend, that's how she say this, her niece, this, her this. No, it's real, because you know what? We get things done. So I
that's
am
right.
just so honored that we are doing this. So people could get information that they probably thought that they knew, but don't know.
Absolutely. Um, and thank you for that. You just recently celebrated a milestone birthday. And I want to say that um, I guess if I had to, I know you have people speak to you all the time and talk about you, but I guess I would say that you are inspiration to me, and I'm sure a lot of other women who have who realizes their life is not over at a certain age. All right, and so I didn't meet I met you at the mark that I'm at right now in your life. I'm something something something, right? My age is something something something. But I met you at that same age when you were that age. And
Yes.
so I don't know about the turmoils or the other things that you had to deal with. I know you for the other things that you've moved forward in. I only know you from being on the school board and from being in the union, and every and how I know you is every time you want to say you want to do something, I want to do that, and we say okay, and you get it done. And again, this is around the same time that you were in your life and I'm in my life. So you serve as an inspiration to me because it's still not over. You recently got this incredible appointment for HHC, um, and like you said, this is what I would like to do. I'm not saying how you got it. I'm not saying what you did. I just know you put it in the universe that you wanted to get it done. And that's all I know. And I only aspire, and I hope that other people around us see you and know that that's something they can do. It's never too late to make those things happen. So I just wanted you to know that, and I now have it on public record that I said it.
So let me say this, and I thank you for that.
Mhm.
The years that I knew you when I was that age,
Right.
it was through your mom, who
Mm.
was a special, special, special lady in my life, and not only in my life, in my husband's life. Oh, he loved Ziza Hurston,
Mm.
and before I really got to know you, Aziz and I, we were a team,
The
just like
road dog.
today. Yeah,
Mm,
just like today. It's amazing how we
mm,
are a team today.
mm,
But your mom and I, we didn't take no mess.
mm,
And the mess was we are in a community that need to have things done. And that's what Aziza Hurston and Jackie Rowe Adams was about. And we were on the community board together and we got things done. And I remember everybody, she saved my life so many times just from people. Everybody would call me, Jackie, sing here, sing there, sing this, do this. And Aziza said, oh my goodness, Jackie, stop letting people use you like that. I had mentors. She was my mentor. Okay. She says, sing, pick your battles, pick which one you're gonna sing. And because she know I didn't do it for money, she knew I cared about the community, and that's why Aziza stuck with me. Then I met her wonderful, wonderful daughter.
mhm.
Oh, her daughter was something else. And her daughter checked me out. Her daughter's name was Yasmin. And her daughter checked me out. She used to see us together. And I'd just be having fun and just singing, and they gave me a name, Yasmin and her team. What was it? What was the name? Let's talk about history. Let's go.
Oh God, I don't know if I want to say that now. You want me
No,
to say that one?
say it because the people need to know from whence we came and how serious that was to me to love that the young people gave me a good name. I loved it. School. No, what you used to say? What was the
Well,
name?
I mean, I just think that at times you just kept it real so much,
So real, and
and
they
like
gave
you
me
kept it ghetto fab so much that
ghetto.
I don't know if everybody remembers the Fat Albert back in the day, Fat Albert, and so that joke used to be, "You like school on Saturdays, no class."
And I'm telling you, they did. So I don't know why she not said it because they used to say it. I come in about here, they say, "Oh, here she comes." And let me tell you, they said it with respect and
It was
dignity.
definitely respect, but I don't think I would say that at this
No,
time
I
in my
love it.
life.
It's part of my history. It's part of my growth. And
Mhm.
I just stuck with them. And I'm telling you, I watched these young ladies. I watched because they would talk about me, all the good things that I was doing, and just be laughing because they said I was all in the mix. As they used to say, I'm in the Kool-Aid, but I knew the flavor.
Right.
See, and they understood that. And the work that was needed in the community, the young people like Yasmin team, I call them Yasmin team because it was a team. And me and Aziza, they used to talk about Aziza. They used to talk about us, like over, But it was with love, and they knew whenever something went down that we had their backs. And that's what we need today. And this is how we got things done. And that is a part of my growth. And a lot of stuff when Aziza went to the best place that we all going to heaven. Yasmin watched my growth. She continued everything, and she's right. Everything I said I wanted to do, she would say, "Okay, all right, what's next? Okay, I got you." And she turned around, and I didn't did it, and she'd be right there backing me up, good, bad, and difference. Thank God it was good. Oh, we had a couple of feathers that wanted to be ruffled, but they knew you mess with Jackie, you mess with Yasmin. You mess with Yasmin, you mess with Jackie. You know why? Because we were a team about getting things done
Right.
to better the community and saving lives, saving our kids' life. When you talk about the school board, oh, those were some great days.
Oh my goodness.
Yasmin encouraged me. That's her kids was in elementary, so you know how far we go back.
Right.
At that time, I was the president of
That's
School
right.
Board District 5.
Yeah.
Well, we made some changes. And the reason we made changes because Yasmin and Chiyuka, they stayed, they were some great parents. I never met and saw such great parents. They fought for everything. And we made some changes and got PS 36 changed around because of Yasmin. They did not have pre-K or kindergarten. And she pressed, she came before the school board. We did some stuff.
Yeah,
in
we did.
District 5 and got things done because, and this is not only because I'm on your podcast, you're bringing up some history, young lady. And let
Mm,
me tell you, we got things done with this education that's today. You helped that growth. You helped that growth. I remember Frederick Douglass did not have a sixth grade. I want people to know we
mhm,
worked hard under
mhm.
my tenure as president and with the encouragement of the parents. Yasmin leading the charge. We got a sixth grade put in Frederick Douglass. So that is the history of the relationship of growth. And every time I turned around and said, I want to do something, she said, whether it was controversy or not, because people sometimes feel, oh, you do too much or you all in it. She never backed down. She never abandoned me. She stuck with me when it wasn't favorable. And so I just want to say, I thank you because not only me, you stick with people that you believe could get the job done or is sincere. And y'all know the words, and it's not haters. And
Mm.
through that helping somebody, it helps you. And you learned that real fast. And that's why I always loved you. I always respected you. And you were my mentee, but you were my mentor. And because you're young and you always could be a mentor. So I just want to say that. And I thank you.
Oh,
And I
thank you.
hope people are listening because we need this kind of relationship now
Yeah,
with others,
that's
And
right.
you could grow together, young people. You could grow with our elders. You could listen to learn and learn to listen. And that's what's important today in today's world.
Well, you are a leader in a number of areas. I think you're multi-talented and multifaceted in the different areas. So you somehow to being able to stem around public health and public health meaning a lot of things, right? Um, Public health dealing specifically with hospitals, dealing specifically um, with gun violence, right?
Yes,
Because those are all acts of public health, and you shined and rose as a leader in this area for whatever reason it was. Is
absolutely.
there something to share about that?
Well, um, what made me get on the school board is because I lost my first son. So that's so many years ago, and that's when I met uh, um, your mom and all of y'all. I lost. Well, someone saw me. Not someone. Reverend Calendar at my church, because you got to turn to God when these things happen. And he said, Jackie, I got something that you need to do. Because I was so sad but he knew I had the energy and and I said to him, I said, right now, I hate all teenagers. I hate all kids. He said, no, no, no. He said, you got to be in position to help save some of these kids. He said, I know some people in School Board District 5. He said, but what you have to do is you have to run for the board. I said, run for the board? He said, yes. He said, you have to run for the board. And he said, it's not going to be easy. He said, but this will keep you busy because you just lost your son. You just lost your son to murder. He said, and it's so many. I said, I don't know if I want to deal with that. But as God would have it, I ran for the board. And I came in number 1 in Harlem for the school board. And so that was amazing. And I did that to turn my pain and put it in action and helping and helping. I was helping other families and other kids. And so that's how I came through trials and tribulations through losing my first son. And that's how I got so active because I realized sitting down, I couldn't bring back my two kids, my first son. I couldn't bring him back. So I had to start doing things. Now, who would know later through the years, 16 years later, and yeah, as you really was in my life then, you and your mom, then I would lose my second son. That's when I went numb. I really said, oh God, I can't do this. A 13-year-old killed my second son, a 13-year-old. And these were the kids I was dealing with in the schools, helping their parents. And when that happened, thank God for support. I had support. And this is what we need in our lives when these kind of tragedies happen. You need support. You need somebody there to say, yes, you can do it. You are not alone. And it is hope. You'll never forget. It'll never leave you, but you will learn to move forward. So these are the things that I had. And
Mhm.
yes, being young as you were right there in my ear and supporting. So this is what's helped me to get to where I'm at today. Then all of y'all start putting me in stuff and put me, the leadership of the young leadership of the community. And I have to say that we don't give y'all enough credit. Our elders sometimes don't give the young people credit, because when I did all this, you were really still young. I ain't saying you old now, but I'm saying you were still young. And so this is really, every time I thought about something, see, I knew you were smart and I knew you could write. Then I look how I took a chance. It wasn't favorable, but then I said, yes, I want to run for city council. You said, oh my God. I mean, these chapters in my life, a lot of people don't. When I tell people I ran for city council, they really don't know. Because I ran in Washington Heights. I ran against Robert Jackson, which we are the Senator Jackson today, which we are the best of friends.
Well, I think that people don't know the funny story about this. It seems that every time you ran, I was pregnant. I didn't realize I was pregnant, but I was pregnant. The first time you ran for school board, I was pregnant with my first child, and then
Mhm.
this you decided to run for city council. I was pregnant with my second child. I was like, Lord have mercy, please don't want to run for nothing again. Because
That's the truth. You
I
said,
said,
oh,
oh my God, please,
please
I
don't
can't.
look for nothing else.
You can't. Please don't run for nothing else.
Isn't that amazing? And we could sit today, 20 some years later,
Hmm.
30 years, but 20, yeah, because before you had
About
your
30. Yeah.
about 30 years later and sit and talk about it and tell the world about it
Yeah.
and let the people know how important it is to have relationships.
I think
See,
that's right.
that's what counts.
That's right.
Relationships, good
Hmm.
relationships,
Hmm.
that we can sit and talk about it today with all the terrible stuff that's going on. We can sit and laugh and reminisce. And through it all, it's all good and it's all growth. Did we have some sad, hard times? Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
But still we rise because we rose as a team and we rise together. And
Hmm.
that's what's important. And that's the message that I hope that people is going to take from this evening. Teamwork, working together, getting things done, positive, saving lives, saving our kids. Because when our children see this is what helps them. Positiveness. When they see this, say, oh, they did that, she did this, she did that. Oh, the young ladies could say, oh, I could do this. Yes, you can.
Hmm.
So I just enjoy talking about that. And
Oh no, it's
you brought
important.
back
I mean,
memories. You brought back memories.
oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, sometimes you don't appreciate uh, the folks in your life or the closeness, right?
Yes.
But the things that let's talk about some of the things that you've experienced that has also helped shape you. Um, your time, you talked about school board stuff, and hey Tyrone, happy Monday to you. You talked about school board, um, but again, talking about health, right? So you started Harlem Mothers Save out of, in addition to all the things that you've done with school boards and everything like that. But you started Harlem Mothers Save, and you've been growing ever since. You started out, I don't know, with just a couple of moms, or now you have grandparents, fathers, sisters,
Yes,
brothers,
yes, yes.
all coming together. So
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about Harlem Mothers Save.
So let's talk about 2006. When I realized I was, hurting, missing Tyrone is the second kid that got killed. Missing Tyrone, missing Tyrone, missing Anthony, but more so missing Tyrone because it was recent. So one morning, and this is a true, of course, the story. One morning I woke up. I was screaming. I said, why are they killing each other? And this was a Memorial weekend. We heard 3 shootings in 2006, not only shootings, but killings. And I woke up. I said, Bill, at 2 a.m. He said, what's wrong with you? I said, oh, we need help. We got to save these children. We got to stop. Who's giving these kids? The message was, who's giving these kids these guns? I couldn't sleep. When daylight came, about 9, 10 o'clock, I was calling. I knew some other parents had a loss. I called them and I said, enough is enough. We have to stop blaming the police. We have to stop blaming the teachers. We have to stop blaming elected officials and so on and so on. I said, we have to take ownership and take back our kids and take back our community. I said, now what I want to do is go find, and I remember it so plain. I said, I want to go find elected official that's not a punk. And I said it just like that, and not scared to speak up and speak out about these guns. And they said, okay, Jackie, I was calling. So this was like on a Tuesday. I never forget. So they said, well, who is that going to be? I said, let's go to Assemblyman Keith Wright. He was Assemblyman at that time in 2006. They said they didn't know, only one knew Assemblyman Keith Wright. I said, because he got guts and he got heart and he will speak up. I called Assemblyman Keith Wright and I told him the issue. He said, come on in. And 125th Street at the state office building, that was his office. It was 5 of us that went in his office, and this is real people, crying all over the carpet. And he started crying with us. He'd tell this story. And he said, and we start crying, and all of them, he just realized so many mothers was there that had lost their child. He called his staff in. He said, come in here, come in here. And we said, we need somebody to speak up and find out who's giving these kids these guns. He said, well, first, he said, oh my God, first y'all got to have a name. He said, I got an idea. He said, we're going to go to the steps of City Hall. I mean, it was no hesitation. He said, we're going to go in the steps of City Hall, but we got to have a name. Got to give y'all a name. That's where Harlem Mothers came from. Harlem Mothers Stop Another Violent End. That's what Keith Wright and his staff called our organization. This is some history, y'all. That's how we got that name. And when he said, how y'all, they was calling different names around. They said, how y'all like this name? And how y'all, and when they got to Harlem Mothers Stop Another Violent End, that was it. He sat there and made a call to 100 Black law enforcement. At that time, 100 Black law enforcement was headed up by a man named Eric Adams. Mm-hmm. Eric Adams was the sergeant, and he was the president of Black law enforcement. Mm-hmm. He told him, and what the situation was. Eric said, okay, let's go in City Hall. They cleared the way for that Friday. They was moving fast. That Friday, 5 mothers, include myself, stood on the steps of City Hall with none other than Eric Adams and the 100 law enforcement, Black 100 law enforcement, Keith Wright. Mm-hmm. And they called the question, who's giving our kids these guns? While I was on that step, I don't know, I have a habit of answering my little phone. I was thinking, well, maybe somebody, I answered the phone, don't make me know what answer from the step. And somebody said, Jackie, we know who giving these kids these guns. Said some bodegas is selling these kids guns. Well, when I told 100 law enforcement, they said, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say nothing. We'll handle it. The next day, that was on a Friday. That Monday, we found out that two bodegas in Harlem was selling guns to the kids, and the Good Watermelon and Collard Green truck on 130 something street was selling guns. And this is real. They shut it down. But I am proud to say the rest is history. But today, our mayor, Eric Adams, that helped shape Harlem Mothers Save, is standing on that steps of City Hall now, giving organizations money, fighting for this gun violence. And he is the mayor of New York City. Who would imagine? Who would imagine? So that's my story. So I give kudos to the people that really led the charge. Can't take that away. And that's how we got in existence. And everything, people weren't even talking about gun violence. They were sweeping it under the rug. They was not all this now. Nobody was talking about it. And I have to say, 2007, Dr. John Palmer came and stood with us out there on the rallies and organizing and the visuals. And Yasmin, you was right there, you and your mom, standing with us, but people still didn't believe in the gun. Oh, they talking about the guns.
Well, let me just say, because you got people listening here that are not just from Harlem, right? When you talk about gun violence and where guns come from, there's a big argument, and it also deals with NRA all the time, right? There's certain parts of the country, because you're a national leader here, so there's certain parts of the country that believes in, guns, and they believe in, their amendment rights, and they believe in people should have guns, and there's definitely an energy out there, an effort, a lobbying effort to maintain this fight. Why do you think there's such a big fight to get the guns removed? I mean, is this a real issue out there? Like, why do you think it's hard to get this message out?
Well, I think it's hard now to get the message out because there's so much money involved. And it's in the black and brown, communities. And it's really hard because they're coming from I-95. The federal government is not taking this serious. And I say it and I say it again. It's hard to get the message. I want to talk, and we're statewide, worldwide, because there's so many people that know us. But if you notice the mass shootings, they talk and they get the messages out there. But when you talk about locally, it's hard for us. It's hard for us to really get the stuff done that we need. Why is guns still coming from I-95? They know they're coming from Virginia, from Philly, from here, from there. But, we've been fighting this fight for a long time. The federal government really have to take this more serious. And it's put in the black and brown communities. And it's a lot of money involved in this. And people, the elected officials, the Albany said, oh yeah, well, we go do this, we go, they're not doing enough. And their study, a 13-year-old killed my second son. And 13-year-olds and 11-year-olds now are killing each other. And that is why I can't believe it's still going on. And so I ask the question all the time, like others, like you're asking this question. I would love to know the real answer besides that. This is what I feel. And
Right.
then you don't have our community not stepping up. When the police kill one of us, it's thousands marching. But when we kill one of us, you hardly see. Now, that is very serious. We're taking each other's lives.
It's interesting because I think that's a point to make. Where's the accountability? Where's the responsibility for our own within our communities that it's happening? It's not just the Harlems of the world, but certainly gun violence is all over. And so then you don't want people to become vigilantes, but how do you how do you respond to our communities that are not stepping up and understanding they have a role in here too? It's not just the guns coming on 95, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
who's using our young people so they can shoot, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Right.
our other people.
Well, you know how we get it out, just like we're doing now, Yasmin. Thank God for your podcast because people are listening. So we have to continue to tell the families. The families got to step up. The parents got to step up. Check your room.
Yeah,
This
tell us about that, because I think that
out.
sometimes parents. Do you find that the children that are involved in gun violence, they have parents that are not active or not around?
Well, let me tell you, I do find that the parents are not active. They're like me. They're watching General Hospital. Okay. They're home. Oh, I got to watch my story. Oh, I can't go to this meeting because I have to go play bingo. Oh, I have to go to get, it's always something. But then you have these parents that is engaged and their kid is out there trying to fit in, trying to fit in.
Mhm.
So now your child is a good child. Okay. But then your child see Mr. Joe and Joe saying, oh, he too good. Let's get him involved and let's get him to hold this gun or weapon. And your child trying to fit in. So he gonna hold it. And this happens so many times. The recruitment. You got gangs and kids out there recruiting. And this is why it's important when your child leave that house that live with you, that's 12, 13, 14, 15. When your child leave that house, check his book bag when he going to school. Check under your mattress. And this has happened. Parents have found guns in these book bags. Parents have found guns under the mattress and have thanked us for going out to these schools because, we go out to the schools and we talk to the parents and we talk to the kids. Parents have found it, but you got to be engaged with your kids. You really, parents, listen to, and the other thing, I talked to the 5th grade graduation, and you know what the 5th grade said when I said to the parents, listen to what your kids is saying? You know what the kids say? Yes, they need to listen to us. You got to
Wow.
listen to your
Is
kids.
that what it is? Young people just don't feel like they're heard?
They feel they're not being heard by a lot of these parents. And you know what the parents say? Oh, I got to work. I got to study. I got to do this. They feel, and that's missing. That's really missing. They
That's
feel
really something. It's something that this generation feels like they have to fend for themselves. And but you're not. You've been doing some events recently. Tell us about some of the events Harlem Mothers Save has sponsored.
Well, we just recently had National Day of Remembrance for all murdered victims. Because we want the parents and to know they're not alone, their children, all our children are not forgotten. So what we do, we pay a big tribute, just like 9/11. Let our loved ones know that you are not forgotten. And we raise balloons at the end. And so many parents come out and people come out just to hear their children name call or their family members, grandparents, come out. People come out just to hear their children's name call. And we involve the siblings. And the siblings bring all their friends because they want to hear their brother or sister name call. And we let them know they are not forgotten. We have a summer youth program that we take very serious. And I thank you again, Yasmin, for always giving us little stuff for the kids to keep them busy. They do want some more Dunkin' Donut cards. But anyway.
I think that's more you than the kids. What are you talking about?
But these are things that we do. May have a Halloween party. We give away turkeys, Thanksgiving. So we keep things going. But most of all, we work very closely with NYPD because we're trying to keep the relationship going with the police and the community. Do we have knuckleheads in the police department? Absolutely. But we take those knuckleheads and constantly talk to them and let them know that this community is not going to accept that. And so we constantly have events because everything I do and have is with the police department. And that's because to show the community that we need NYPD. Because when things happen, who do you call? Not Ghostbuster, you call 911. So these are the things that we keep going and keep the kids involved, the explorers. We have explorer program at the precinct. Some of the kids don't want to join because they don't want their friends to see them with the police. But you know what? They be wanting to join, to get out the street. And when I talk to some of these kids, they say, we tired of seeing our friends get killed. We're tired of these guns. And Yasmin, I told you I was going to send you some essays. You should see the essays that these kids wrote. Because in order to be in our program for the summer, you have to write 1,000 words essay of why I want a job. And why is there so many guns in our community? So you got to read, and most of all, what is a leader?
Okay, well, I gotta read these. I'm very impressed with that. The fact that we made that happen. The other thing, somebody's ringing my bell. Sorry. um. So, my son said hi, Jackie.
Oh, hi, my precious. You got that. People need to take lessons from you, Yasmin. Such a great mom. Everybody accused you of being such a great mom.
That's so cool.
And active.
Yeah.
And that's with parents and families. Because, sometimes, yes, a lot of, and I want to say to all the listeners, sometimes a lot of kids don't have parents.
Right.
But they have family members. And we have to reach out and support these kids in the community. So we can't say we blame it on parents. I blame it on the community. I always say, take back our kids, take back our community, adopt a child. Adopt a child.
Well, good for you on that. And thank you for adopting me, kind of, right? And so moving on from Harlem Mother Save, let's talk a little bit about your new assignment, right? The HHC. So I don't know how much you can talk about it, but look, I know during COVID, you were one of the first people. You're the one who made me realize that COVID was real. Let me just say that. Everybody during that time period in March of 2020, you kept hearing about it and you were like, oh, whatever, I'm going outside. I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to wear a mask. And I remember that. I still remember the day that you called me and said that you weren't feeling well and that this is when nobody knew anything. Everybody was like, go home for a week and then let us know. And I mean, they just were really negligent on a couple of things. And so you first getting sick by COVID, can you tell us a little bit how that impacted your life and then how it eventually led for you to become more deeper into being a patient, for the public health center, public hospitals?
2020, who would ever imagine that I was close to death? And Yasmin just lost it. Everybody told me she just lost it. It was when I discovered I was so sick. I was so sick in here. And like Yasmin said, I called and said, I'm not doing too well. Well, I had the worst cough in the world. And I remember talking to Inez, and she said, Jackie, you sound terrible. And I said, I feel terrible. She said, go to the hospital. I said, nah. Then Inez called Sylvia. That was at the hospital. And Sylvia said, Jackie, go to the hospital now, because it got worse and worse. She said, I'm going to call the hospital and have an ambulance. She said, call an ambulance. And when they come, I'm going to have them waiting for you. The doctor's waiting for you. Well, again, relationships and resources and connection when you do the right thing. Because I was always, for about 30 years, I was on health and the Renaissance Healthcare Board of Health. And when I got to that hospital, and they checked me out, they said, oh my God, she got double pneumonia in both lungs. She have COVID, she have double pneumonia. I was close to death. I stayed in the hospital
forever.
But oh my God. almost 8 days. Like, but it was like I was imagining and I was seeing spirits. And I want y'all to know this.
Mm.
When you in there and isolated, I was all isolated with tubes and masks and everything. The nurses and doctors were scared to come into my room. They were scared to come into my room.
But this was in the beginning. This was
This
like
is beginning. This is nobody. They didn't know what it
they didn't know
was.
they didn't know what was going
They
on.
didn't have the
Right.
tools and the stuff they
Mhm.
needed. They
Mhm.
only had one little mask. I'm telling you. And it was horrifying. I don't want to get deep
Well,
in.
I just want to say I was impressed with you. I mean, first of all, everybody knows that now you call Jackie, she has an iPhone, but she had a flip phone. And so
Yes,
I don't understand how people could text with a flip phone. I'm just so impressed with that. And you found the time to
I
at
did.
least let me know you were okay on your flip phone. What do you have to do? Press the same number
I
twice,
did
a few times to
twice
get a
and
number?
3 times, and but at the end of the day, I had to say, with God and knowing I had support, He wasn't ready for me yet. It was like a little voice came to me, and this is real, and said, Jackie, get up and leave this hospital.
Mhm.
I was ringing the bell, and I said to them, I got to go home. They said, you have to stay at least 4 or 5 more days. That's like 14 days. I said, I'm leaving because I ain't dying. I'm not dying here. And let me tell you, I said, but I want the doctor to come and sign me out. Doctor came, said, you shouldn't leave. I said, give me the medicine. I tell you, people, it was a miracle. I had lost about 50 pounds. I didn't want nobody to see me. I lost so much weight. And when I tell you, I never forget. I was waiting for them to bring the chair for me to leave the hospital. Nobody came. They were scared to be around me. Guess what? Jackie Rowe Adams went downstairs. People was so mad at me and caught me a cab outside. They still don't believe how I did it. I came home, rang my bell because I ain't have no keys. And when Bill opened the door, he said, "Oh my God, how you get here?" I said, "God brought me here." I flopped in my chair and said, "Now you got to take care of me." And the rest is history. I'm here on Yasmin Podcast.
Absolutely.
But I learned how serious
Hmm. How
this
was it? How
was.
did it feel when you got better?
Well,
I
when
know you. I know you're going through it when you're sick. I
yeah,
know
because
you're hearing all these stories, and I know you also don't want to go into it like that because it's emotional. But
it
how did
gets
it
very
feel when you
emotional.
got better? Like when
I
did you
felt
realize it was a turning point here?
Yeah, it was a journey, and I start feeling like nobody cared. I really did, I
Wow.
said, nobody calling me, nobody, I'm not in this, I'm not in that.
Wow.
They done forgot about me. You feel like a lost soul. But that's a whole book right there. But anyway, I start feeling better. I start making myself feel better. I would get up. I had some challenges, a lot of challenges, but Bill walked through everything with me. And one day I said, Bill, I got to get out this house. We went downstairs and was standing. I was so weak. Um, People would come over, my family. I would stay in the room, and my granddaughter happened to spot me and said, Nana, oh my God, you don't look good. You lost all that weight. That did it. I said, So I felt that I was going to make it at a time. And it was days I thought I wasn't. So it was very, 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 it was a close call. And that's when I knew God was not ready for me yet. But I say to people, take this COVID serious. Take it very serious. But you know what? Get your shots. I said the shots ain't gonna help, but yes, you won't be as bad off as you could be as I was. But I had pneumonia in both lungs. And I thought I would never sing again. It was some challenges, you know. And so I went through it. I went through an awful lot.
And so then your first supporter, one of your first supporters of your organization is now mayor.
Yes,
And you
yes.
decided that you didn't want to lie. You wanted to do something to continue to give back. Um, and you thought about this HHC. Now you already on other small boards. What's the difference between
Oh, big
the
difference.
small one and the large one? What's
Okay.
the difference?
The cabs, the
Community
cab
advisory, the
is
community
advised.
advisory
We can
boards.
advise the hospitals, the clinics, advisory board.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot make the final decision on cabs. We have to be advisor, put out, little say, let them know what's going on around them in the clinics, how the patients. I was the patient care chair. Of course, at one point I was the president of the cab.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let them know what the patients are going through, do a little service. That's the cab role. Go to the meetings to bring back to the community and bring back to the clinics or the leadership what's going on. We were the voice for the voiceless.
Okay.
That now I decided, and for years, when I
Mm-hmm.
seen things wasn't going right with H&H, I always said, I want to be on that board because I'm calling my doctor. Now, this is the real call. And I mentioned it at one of the meetings. I said, you call your doctor. I said, if I didn't know nobody, you can't get through the phones. You got to hold on for an hour. You got to press this. They transfer you to this. They transfer you. Be done died. And then I said, this got to change. That's what really was a deciding factor for me to be on that board. I said, I always wanted to be on it when de Blasio was mayor, but it was no slots. I didn't know him like that. And one of the things I said, when the mayor becomes the mayor, I don't want no job. I don't want no job, but this is more than a job. I don't want no job, no paying job. I don't want no job. I just want to be able to help my community and help my people and make the right decisions on that board, because the board now is a decision maker. When we sit there and I go there 9 o'clock, I'm sitting making some kind of decision with the other board members of what happens in H&H. That's the big difference. We are the board. We are the decision makers. And that's what I wanted. But you don't just get on that board because the mayor said you get on that board. I was vetted, investigated. That's why everybody, if y'all want to find something for me, I'm clean.
Okay, I get it, right? Because you get on that board,
You
that says a
you
lot. Is there any accomplishments that you could speak of so far?
Well, one of the things that I could speak of that I'm very proud of, um, I've been a great help to the Renaissance Healthcare Network, Harlem Hospital, working with the people in Harlem, not the people, the community, and making sure that our fair share, we getting our fair share, making sure the public is able to go and take advantage of the goodness of Harlem Hospital. Harlem Hospital been around. That's our only hospital. So I feel good that when they come to me and say, we need this and we need that, I'm able to take it to the president, which is a great man, the chair, which is Dr. Katz. And
Mm-hmm.
he is really great. So it's been accomplishments. I'm able to help some people. I'm not going into what I help them with, but I'm able to help and be the voice for our community. And trust me, if it's real and a bad issue, I'm taking it to the board. And I have, and it's been straightened out. I feel so good. It's a lot of work. So I retired to get her a non-paying job, but that's all right. At least I feel that I am helping somebody, and I thank Mayor Adams all the time. Yes, I was vetted and investigated, but he had the final say to sign off it. I am Mayor Eric Adams appointee on H&H board.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So, along with your your public servant life, you talked a little bit about your performing arts life, um, and you were recently in a movie.
Oh Lord.
For those who don't know, award-winning movie. Rada Blank did it, the 40-year-old version, and Jackie Rowe Adams. You were like a hit, a star in that movie. Like you were. she has a different way that she does her movies, and like so you played I guess one of the people that you would call like a chorus person, whatever, where you said some words that I don't think I've ever heard you say in the movie.
And the kids are still teasing me. I said,
You
don't
said
go
so
say
many
it.
curse words in the movie. Me like, oh my God. Everybody, my kids at the time, they was like, oh my God. Listen to Aunt Jackie curse say those words. We never heard something like that. So how was that experience? Tell us about how you got in this movie. I mean, are you doing more?
Oh
Like
my goodness
how's that
gracious.
work?
Yes, this tell Rada, I love her. I told her don't ever call me again. I admired actresses and actors more so than I ever. I was walking down the street, rushing to a meeting way before the COVID. That was 2 years before the COVID.
Mhm.
Rushing to a meeting, and a young lady came and said, Miss. And she said, I'm a casting agent. You look like a part that our director is casting. She looking for someone that look like you. I said, how she know I look? She said, I'm gonna take a picture of you. It's a character that you look like you could play. Read the script just like that. And I read it. I said, too much cursing in it. I can't play that. And she said, oh, no, you wouldn't have to really curse, tell her she fooled me. So anyway, she said she took a picture and she said, I'm gonna send it to my director just like that. And I
Wow.
read the line. She said, oh my goodness, you'll be perfect. And they wanted a 70-year-old woman that is telling a 40-year-old that she is too old to rap. And what I'm trying to do is convince her that her rapping days is finished. So give it up.
Wow, that's
And
interesting because you would never do that in real life.
you got that right. And and so it was just a great comedy. And so she went back
Great
and
movie. Great movie.
she sent my picture to the director just that quick. I gave her my information. I said, if this is a scam, you're going to jail. And and sure enough, it wasn't a scam. And going to rehearsals, it was a lot. That was one of the hardest things I ever did because you couldn't read. Once you read that script, you had to put that script down. And seemed like I had an opening and an ending. And I was like the mom, just telling I was like a conscious,
Yeah.
and the rest is history. And people, I said, Rada, anything you need me to do, but besides acting, anything I help with, but I cannot do this no more. And
Was
people,
it a lot to memorize the
it
lines and
was,
everything?
it really was. And I'm not good at remembering,
Well, we didn't never know you did a great job.
because they had to take 3 and 4 takes and 5 and 6 takes. And I said, what did I do wrong? And I would quit. I said, I quit. Rhonda said, no. She stuck right with me. She said, you can do it. I was so nervous. But she worked with me. God bless her. Wherever she's at, God bless her. I've talked to her a couple of times. God bless her because they work with me. And do you know people was upset because the stars that was in it, they were they had license. What word I'm looking for? I wasn't
SAG. They were like SAG
yeah.
unionized.
And I wasn't, and they wondered how did I get this part? And so that was
Is that what they were worried about? Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. And Rada, she didn't care. She took and she put me and she helped me. She sent me to a coach. I had one of the best coach.
Wow.
I call him coach. He don't even live here. He came all the way from California, and I had a coach. This was serious business. But I did get $2.
Okay, that's good. That's good. $2 is incredible. That's great.
Yes. So you know what? It's so much more to talk to my life after 75 years. And I want to thank you for a wonderful, wonderful hostess at my 75th birthday party.
Well, let me just be clear to everybody. I'm always the hostess of her event. So I'm like, I love it because it gives me an opportunity not only to meet people, but to continuously celebrate her. But to the listening audience, like, wow, I can't like have fun like everybody else. I'm always on the ball, making sure her events are fire. And so a lot of people have been angry at me because I had to shut them down and tell them they can't talk. But she's usually the one that sends me to do it. And I'm happy to do it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you have along with the movie, you performed a lot of places. You sing, as you said. Can you tell me one of the best experiences you had when you had to sing? I have an experience that's my best, but tell me your best experience, your favorite experience. It's a long time. I know it's a lot. And you can even tell me your top three, but
I don't even, I think my best experience is when I sang at Shea Stadium. When I did the national anthem at Shea Stadium, it was overwhelming. It was unbelievable, and I can't even remember half the places that I've sang, but I do remember. Oh, of course, I sang at Gracie Mansion. When David Dinkins was there, when he first got in. Oh man, I was like pumped. But
my favorite one is when you said we had the event, the FBI training or something, the
yes,
cultural center.
yes,
But
yes,
like you had it was like the whole background, like a orchestration background. It was just incredible, and you every time you're singing the national anthem
yes,
or
yes.
lift every voice, or I mean, it's always a very patriotic, motivating song. So after everybody knows that after you hear the national anthem or America the Beautiful or Lift
God
Every
bless
Voice
America.
or
Yeah,
God Bless America, like everybody knows that those songs are ready to make you go, right? And
yes.
every time you sing, I mean, everybody's just like, what's up? Where are we going? What's next? You know?
And
So,
one of my greatest experience too is when I first, but I stopped all that. That was too much.
mm,
Is when they would do the black conventions, the
it's
caucus. The conventions in
Albany, Albany.
Yes.
Hmm.
And when I got to sing there, that was a big deal for me when I would open up in Albany,
That was
for the conventions. And you was always so proud because we always did those Albany trips together. So it's so many highlights.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's coming up junior high school. My highlight in my life was being in the All-Star Citywide Chorus.
Is that right?
I was the lead alto. And that was a big, big, big deal. And that was my claim to fame. And that's how I made it in school because I wasn't the smartest, brightest, but because I could sing, I had teachers that let me do anything. You know, I had one of the best music teachers, Alfreda Wright.
Mm,
And so that was my highlight was junior high school in the all
mm,
citywide chorus
mm.
and singing it in the churches and it's just so many things in the community. And I love music. I
Yeah,
love music. And
yeah.
I think that's why I always sang for free.
I think so. Well, the other thing that I think that I love to see is along with you singing. Another thing that I love, which is probably why I do what I do with you in my life. I just love to see you laugh, and I love to see you smile, and I love to hear you laugh. And we've always found ways of laughing, even in times of stress,
That's right.
just to look at one another and like whatever. So, that's we're in a world right now, as you know, society, a lot of things are happening, but you always want to wish the best for people, and it's nothing warms my heart when I see people closest to me happy,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping that people feel the same way.
Yes. What I want you to pause there, Yaz. Say that part again. And this is what people got to listen to. Laugh,
Yeah,
smile.
I mean, I like
Time
that's what
right.
I like. That's what I like. I like the fun stuff. I mean, how many times have we been able to look at stuff and fall out laughing, even when there was a time when we probably shouldn't be laughing?
Oh my goodness.
And I think that's you just want to see people happy. You want to see, I know what you've been through. I know what you had to deal with, and who wants to deal with that type of loss? And we've been with each other for quite some time with all of our different losses, and so like, number one, we already know the gamut of how to support one another, how
Yes.
to make each other feel better. We already know that, which is
Yes.
important in any relationship. I don't care what kind of relationship. How do you make your person feel better when they feel down?
That's
And
right.
then with that is how do you enjoy seeing them laugh and smile because when you know they weren't down before. And so
Yes.
I
Yes.
just get so much pleasure in that. And I think as we continue on this route, I just look forward to the other accomplishments that you'll do.
Yes, yes. Let me
So
tell
there's
you.
a question right now from one of our listeners. They said, "Have you encountered any migrants needing emergency services in Harlan Hospital?" She was wondering if tuberculosis was on the rise because the number of migrants. I mean, that's an issue. I think migrants coming in to New York, are they being screened? Are there resources out there to support them?
So let me say this, and that's a good question. It's I can't talk about some things that we discuss on the board, but what I can talk about is I'm proud of some of our hospitals because we have those hospitals have taken on the migrant, on the seeking silence, and I'm very proud of the services that they are getting, and it's not interfering. And I need to be clear, it's not interfering with our health issues. Monies. Somebody say a question came up about are we taking our money from our health, and spending it on the Seacom Silence? Absolutely not. That's a
Mm.
whole different pot. So they're getting special services that they need when they come in. Our hospitals has been very good, but I don't know about any, diseases or anything like
Tuberculosis. Yeah,
tuberculosis
there's just this thought process that
on the
with
rise.
the with the on surge of folks coming into
Yes.
the country.
And let me say this to people. Let's be mindful. No, no, we don't like a lot of stuff that go on, but they're here and they're human. And right now, we have to do what we have to do. And if we all start getting crazy and just distancing the world, and fighting. I just heard someone hit some of them in the head. They fight them, but it's not their fault. So, but the services have to be done, and the hospitals cannot turn them away. I just
Understood.
yes.
Understood.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for that. So, Jackie, this has been fantastic.
Yes, yes,
We have shared your YouTube, your Instagram page. If folks are interested in Harlem Mothers Save, if they're
yes, yes,
interested
yes,
in learning more about what you do, I think that's the right thing. Just go to that
yes.
Instagram page, and people can learn more about it.
And Yasmin, may I say, I don't,
Yeah.
a lot of my learning
Yep.
and has been through. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention the Harlem Chamber of Commerce,
Oh,
Harlem Week. I have learned so much through Harlem Week, just how making things happen, how it gets done, how we serve the public. My role with Harlem Week is I do the cleaning at the end of the days, at the end of the night, Saturday and Sunday. When you see that thousands of people out there, but at the end of that night, our organization got the contract to be able to hire 50, 60 people a night. And that I am grateful for. So I got it down pat. If I want to open a big cleaning company, I know how to do it
apparently, yeah, yeah.
through Harlem Week, and thanking the Harlem Chamber of Commerce for helping save lives and giving opportunity to a lot of people don't know, but Harlem Chamber of Commerce through Harlem Week let's hires at least 200 people for those 2 days. And let me tell you, it's very serious, and I thank them. And it's not a lot of money, but it's something. So I've learned a lot through the years of our community. And again, families, pay attention to your kids, listen to what they got to say, and let's work as a team. Let's take back
Yeah.
our kids and take back our community. I've been fortunate to have people like Yasmin, and others, and the people that work with her, because she can't do it alone. And now I want y'all to know I'm in the sports world because I never like this is truth. I have to leave in with the truth. The truth is, all you sport lovers, I never liked sports. I take it or leave it. But now I am a college football fan, and I want to give praises and a shout out to a Johnny Cornelius, a Johnny. It's number 65 with Oregon. I got the name
I'm
right.
impressed. Oh my God, you know it all. Wow.
Oh, I'm telling you, my husband and son, they're glued to the TV. I can't help but know it, but then they got me glued. And that's just an example, family,
Mm-hmm.
of every family. Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
You can be there and support your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at this. And look at Chayuka. He's in the music world. He's just the kids are doing stuff. So I just want y'all to know that I'm a college football fan.
That's crazy because we were not that before.
Never.
So we and you just spoke about your family and how you how they're very active. But tell us how you kind of do your balance of your work life between your family, your sons, and your husband. Big shout out to Eric, Brian, and Bill.
And a big shout out to my husband. And you know why? Because he let me do anything I want to sometimes.
Big shout out to him.
He gives me a lot of freedom, but I know when to hold it and I know when to fold it. And the support of my friends and associates and family, for understanding that I do have a husband. People still learning that I have a husband because people be saying, "Oh, Jackie, I didn't know you had no husband," because I am a free spirit. And but I do take care of home because home take care of me. And
Wilma says hi.
tell Wilma and people like Wilma. Let's talk about people like Wilma. People like Wilma. I talked about Keith, but Wilma is a staunch supporter of her community, period.
Mm-hmm.
But my husband, thank you. He's, doing what he need to do. And I thank the community, a lot of support. I am a very fortunate young lady, and I am young and young in spirit. And that's what counts. Young in spirit. I'm very young in spirit, and I will continue. I learn all the new slangs and the pop the fingers and I'm down with the young folks and
It's
the
true,
old.
you are. It's true, you are. You got it.
And
So
that's
Jackie Rowe Adams, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on Phoenix Soul Podcast. Again, if you want to speak to or reach out to Jackie Rowe Adams, you can go to their IG at Harlem Mothers Save. It's that easy. There we go. And if you would like to become a guest on Phoenix Soul Podcast, you want to talk to me, if you want to say, "Oh my goodness, Yaz, that was a great show," or just whatever, you can contact me at Phoenix Soul Podcast on my IG. This has been incredible. Thank you so much. And is there anything else, or anything you would say to a person who, forget a young person, but for somebody who's starting over in their life, starting a new chapter, what advice would you give to them?
keep
I'm not
moving
saying
forward.
forget young people, but I'm just saying
Just keep moving forward. Just like when we talk about Harlem mothers and fathers, say, you know what our mantra is? Let's keep it moving. Just keep it moving. It's going to be days you're going to be down. But you know what? Think about the good times and think about the people that you could help and think about your family. I am fortunate to have a son like Brian and Eric, but more so, Brian is really in my life and he's a good coach. And he and Yasmin, they really do. They put their heads together, and sometimes they double team me. But parents, listen. The most important thing is not only parents, adults, listen to the kids. Listen to what they have to say. It's very important. Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. They need you.
Well, let's be heard and keep it moving. I think that
keep it moving,
especially this weekend for me. Keep it moving has been the message. Just keep it moving.
Yes.
Wake up. Keep on doing it. Another day. Keep on going. So Jackie Rowe Adams, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming on Phoenix Soul.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
This was good. We talked a long time, huh?
And it goes quickly, right?
Yes.
It's like a regular night that we have our phone conversation, right?
Absolutely. Especially when you have something to talk about. And we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. That's right. That's right.
Okay, so that's right. Woman said keep it moving. Thank you. I just a big shout out to Wilma. Wilma called me today. Again, people, you know what it is, like we always do. You always have friends that's there for you when everything's going great. But just a moment to think maybe something's wrong or maybe you might be down. Thank you, Wilma, for calling me this morning for that. I appreciated that. Because it was a little bit of crickets for a minute, if you know what I mean, this weekend. But I hope you were able to call those other folks I asked you to call to give them good messages. But just again, celebrating good friendship and good relationships.
Yes.
So, Jackie, we're going to let you go. I know you're a busy person. Please give our love to your family members and keep it up. Keep up the good work. And we can't wait to see what I got to do next month. Talk to you soon.
Love it. Oh, could I tell everybody, if you want to give us some candy for Halloween,
Yeah.
please, we need candy for the kids because it's going to be safe candy. The kids look to go places to get candy, so they send them to us because at least our candy is good.
So that's well, you gonna have a flyer on your Instagram or something?
So I'll make sure they put the flyer on the Instagram.
Okay, and then we'll also share it.
Please share the flyer.
And we'll say if people want to give candy, they should contact you or come by the. Where's your office located? Can you share that?
306A West 128th Street, between St. Nicholas and 8th Avenue. 306A West 128th Street. Please come by, and now we're going to have a haunted house for the kids. The ages is 0 to 12.
Okay.
And we're going to have treats for the dogs. So because people dress their dogs up for Halloween. So please come by, drop candy, call Yasmin. I'm gonna make sure they put it on Instagram. And
that's fine.
Okay.
And we'll definitely contribute and give you some candy on that too.
Absolutely. Love you.
Love you more.
Good show.
So thank you, everybody. And again, having Jackie on there is always refreshing. Again, this show is about good news. Hopefully I get to have I have a whole other side of the family. Of course, I'm New York, but I began to have some family members and friends in Oregon. So they've agreed to come on my show too. So I'm looking forward to that as we continue to grow our audiences and people that have great stories to share. We don't discriminate. We want to hear it all, Thanks again. Thanks for everybody who always continue to support Phoenix Soul and iAccess Radio. I want to give a big shout out again to iAccess Radio and all the other shows. If you can try to listen to them, it's you'll find your niche in one of our shows, right? They have it all. So stay tuned for next week. I'll be back. And thanks again for listening to Phoenix Soul.